Hi everyone, welcome back to the Medapply YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be answering questions that you sent in for us to answer as medical students. In today's video, we have with us Kat.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm Kat for short. I'm a third year medical student at UCL.
Awesome. So Kat, today's theme is life in uni. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Of course.
Okay, great. So the first question someone sent in is, how did you choose your unis?
Okay, so UCL was my first choice, and I chose it primarily by going to the open day, which maybe might be a bit difficult with COVID, but hopefully for this year hopefully we can have in-person open days. But talking to the students there, getting to know what a sort of day-to-day life is like at UCL was something that really convinced me to go there. Everyone seemed really friendly. Everyone loved the course as well. There wasn't anyone that I met that said, I'm not really liking medicine anymore. I'm thinking of dropping out. Everyone really enjoyed it. And also, UCL, of course, is in the center of London, which is great. Great for sort of making friends, great for food, nightlife, etc. So, and also, of course, the course is really good as well. So it's mostly lecture based in the first 3 years, and then the last 3 years are based in the hospital. So those are sort of the three main things: location, the people, and the course. What about you?
Yeah, so I chose my uni, so I'm studying at St. Andrews. I chose it because of location as well. It's quite small and nice. And I think the second thing was I really liked the course structure and the fact that I could do 3 years in one place and then pick my clinical years in another place. So that was really attractive to me. And I think the third thing was I really liked the sort of the extracurriculars that were on offer. I thought it was really nice to it was really nice the sports and societies that the uni had on offer. And just like Kat, I had an idea of this from the open day and the website and that sort of stuff. So yeah, awesome. So the next question someone sent in is, what is special about your med schools?
Oh, that's a lovely question. That's really nice. Um, what is special about UCL? I think the community is wonderful. I haven't met a single person that has said that they haven't enjoyed their time at UCL. Um, Everyone's so supportive and kind, and I think the department really fosters that as well. It's not just the people, but also the medical school supporting that community, which I think is great. We have our own medical school societies, so that all comes under RUMS, which is you have things like cricket, netball, football, but also music societies and a comedy group as well. And those all kind of provide the extracurricular sort of fun, but also the academic support that sometimes you do need during medical school. I also think UCL is really special in the sense that it places a lot of importance on equality, diversion, and inclusion. So we've had a lot of conversations about health inequalities, which is really important, especially highlighted by the pandemic. I think that it really goes to show like how much of a gap there is between what doctors know and what are taught versus real life. I think that's really special with the UCL Medical School. What about you? What's special about St Andrews?
No, I was gonna say that's a really nice answer. I was gonna say as well, what's nice about St. Andrews is the community feel. So it's just 3 years of 3 years of like medical students in the whole university. And I think that that makes it really nice for you getting to know your lecturers well and your friends well and other people. And I think a really special thing is we're all sort of in like a compound. The whole like city is like a university, so you really get to mix with the locals and students studying different disciplines. So it's not all that sort of centralized. I think it's really nice. That's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's completely different in London. I do bump into people a lot, but it's a huge city and there's so many universities in London. I guess you make friends through that as well, but it's just completely different because St Andrews is so much more like compact, I guess.
Yeah. That brings us to a next question, which is, what's different about uni compared to school?
Gosh, so many things. First of all, with uni, I feel like there's so much more freedom. Um, but in a way that can be kind of scary as well because you don't get taught what to do. So you get all this content kind of thrown at you, and then there's no follow-up in the sense like there's no homework, of course. There is some small group teaching to recap it, but most of it is in your own hands. So that kind of independence to study on your own and make your own schedule is different.
Hmm.
And then uni is so much bigger. I mean, that's a very obvious statement, but your horizons just get broadened so much more when you're at uni. You meet people from all different walks of life, which is an amazing experience. It just really opens your eyes to see how big the world actually is, um, which I think is really positive. It's really great. What else? I think there's a lot more opportunities to do new things at uni as well. Just because usually unis will have more funding than schools, you can try out lots of different new things, like extracurricular wise, or even within your department. Like at UCL, for example, we had the opportunity in our first week or second week to go watch a post mortem, which was quite intense because we were just little freshers at the time. But all those sort of opportunities to really delve into your subject. It's completely different to at school where you're much more sort of restricted as to what you can do.
Definitely, I agree completely. I was just gonna say that definitely for me, I think it's the flexibility to do whatever you
Mhm.
want. I think in a good way. So a lot of things are now in your hand, and I think another thing that's different is the fact that you have this like place to be independent and make your own friends and do your own thing. So I think yeah, that's one of the main differences for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
someone's asked a question. I'm worried about moving away from home and staying all alone. How do you deal with this?
So being all alone, that's interesting because at uni, like you can sometimes feel lonely whilst you're surrounded by a lot of people. But I think the most important thing is being comfortable with being alone. And that obviously takes a bit of time to develop, but keeping yourself engaged, be it with extracurricular activities, if that's an option next year, be it online or in person. Online will definitely happen if in person doesn't. So getting involved with that, but also just being sort of content with yourself if you do find yourself alone, because most first years, I suppose, will be in halls. It's good to sometimes take a step back and, like, spend a little bit of time for yourself. So make sure to do the things that you enjoy, keep your hobbies up during uni. I feel like when I was in uni, I didn't really do any of my hobbies anymore. Um, but just making time to spend some time reading if you enjoy that, or painting, whatever you enjoy. um be comfortable like spending a bit of time on your own too. You don't always have to be surrounded by loads and loads of people to feel happy or feel content. I think that's really important at university.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think that that's a really nice thing to sort of touch on. I think, at least for me, when I first went to uni, I was maybe slightly worried. Oh, I'm going to be living all alone in this room, in university, far away from home. But in all actuality, it's not as daunting as it seems because most times they know you're a fresher and they'll put you in halls where you share a flat or you have meals with other students. So you may think you are going to be in a situation where you're alone, but I think there are many opportunities to make friends and find people who share similar interests as you. So I'd just say that don't worry about it if you're worried that you're going to end up all alone. There are lots of societies and events where you can meet lots of people. So yeah.
Yeah, and also if you ever do feel like you're struggling, there's universities do offer a lot of support. So maybe have a look into what sort of welfare they provide. At UCL, I know the societies also have a specified welfare officer as well. So if you do join an extracurricular club and you're feeling like you're struggling with loneliness, then definitely reach out for help. and there will be people to support you. And also, like Navina, as you were saying, that you will always find your people at uni because it is so big. So just kind of trust the process, and kind of, to stick with it and reach out for help if you need it.
Absolutely. I think this brings us nicely to another question someone's asked. Is it easy to make close friends in uni?
That's interesting. Close friends. I feel like I was quite lucky in the sense that I made some really, really great friends in freshers, but I didn't really talk to them that much after, just because I guess different courses, different schedules. But then I did make a few friends a few weeks later on that I still feel like I'm very, very good friends with them now. They're probably who I consider my best friends. Um, but I think with like close friends, you just have to let that relationship form naturally. So put yourself out there, be sort of confident with who you are as well. You don't need to sort of fit into a specific mold to find friends. Because as we were just talking about before, there are so many people at uni that you will find people that appreciate you for who you are.
Mhm.
Um, but I think, some people don't click with their best friends in the first couple of weeks. It might take a month or a couple of months, but there will always be people that you can call friends. Um, if they don't end up being your close friends like 2, 3 months down the line, then that's fine. You enjoy your time with them, and then you find people that you click with a little bit more. You know?
Absolutely. I think I read somewhere that people make lots and lots of friends in like freshers of the first year, and then when you get to second year, that gets smaller and smaller. Um,
Mm.
I found that really interesting, but I think what it's trying to say is like every year, you may get different friends, and there might be a small batch that will stick. So yeah, I think it's not difficult to make friends. I agree with Kat. Um, Making close friends, I think I agree. That's sort of a natural process. You can't really force that. But I think making friends, I definitely agree with Kat. There are lots of opportunities.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting was at uni, people are so willing to just get quite close with you, which is completely different to what I experienced at school, because it would take a lot of time to build up a friendship at school. But there are people that even now at uni, I'm going into third year, so I've been at uni for a while now. But people that I've met kind of a month ago that I would consider quite close friends of mine now, just because we've been seeing each other a lot, just like messaging like, oh, do you want to go out and like grab some food or something, which was completely not the case at school, because you just don't have that freedom to go out whenever, um, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, like I do also feel, Navina, like you're saying, that the group becomes more tight knit, but it gets a little bit smaller as you progress. But you can also meet lots of new people as well. Like I think I made quite a number of new friends in second year.
Absolutely. I think with the whole lockdown this time, we spent most of the year like in lockdown and in halls. And I think the closest friends I've made, probably thus far, have been my friends who went through that whole thing with us. So um, I think yeah, it depends on so many factors. On what makes you guys close friends, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. As Kat was saying, it so many opportunities in uni. So the next question is, what is your best uni experience so far?
Oh, I have to think about that a little bit. I don't know if I can single it down to one particular thing, but what I really enjoyed about uni, so when I was in first year, obviously we didn't have COVID, so everything was normal. Um, but I just loved, sounds very like, it sounds a little bit nerdy, but I actually really liked going to uni and learning, but learning with friends and learning in a really supportive community. And then after, you consolidate all that in the library, and the library was always so nice. And then go out and have fun in the evening. It's just such a good combo of work hard, play hard, which I really think was a great experience. So learning at a world class institution from incredible lecturers, but also having the benefits of a very healthy social life.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe a really good experience I can think about is so my cricket club went on tour for a weekend in Newcastle. That was really fun. Got really close to my friends who I was kind of, not as close with. Like the 2 days were just a really great bonding experience. And definitely have lots of great stories to tell from tour. So I'd say that's probably one of my highlights. What about you?
No, I think that's a really sweet answer. I think this is a really tricky one. But if I had to pick one, I think it was Christmas. So we spent because of the whole thing with the pandemic and stuff, we spent Christmas in our flat. And what we did was we went to get like a Christmas tree, like a proper Christmas tree. And, what is it? I've never really seen a proper Christmas tree before. So what we did was we got it chopped from like a botanic garden. We picked a Christmas tree, a massive like
Oh
6 foot
my gosh.
Christmas tree. We
Wow.
bought all the like ornaments and we dressed it, and then we had a really nice like Christmas dinner. But I think what was so funny was we ended up leaving the tree there um, until past New Year's, and
Oh,
it was such a mess, but so funny. Clearing a 6 foot Christmas tree that was like, I don't know how heavy it was. It was so messy, so tiring, but so sweet.
oh, yeah, that sounds so nice. Gosh, I can't believe you got it like chopped for you as well. That's amazing. Gosh.
I
Yeah,
know.
with uni, I feel like a lot of the memories that you make they like they're some, with the like cleanup for the Christmas tree, for example, like there's some sort of gross element to it.
Yeah.
But it's just because you're going through that experience together, it actually makes it really fun. And it's just so spontaneous as well. Like you never like yeah, you just have so much freedom to do whatever that you can very much abuse that and make some really good memories.
Yeah, that's true. The last question that we have for this video is tips for enjoying uni.
I think the main pitfall that I think some people experience is that getting too stressed about everything. It's obviously easier said than done, but I think when you sort of overthink either studying or your social life, that's when you lose the enjoyment of it. Like there are parts of when uni will be difficult, but try to just take a step back and take every step day as it comes. Um, with studying, make sure to prioritize it, of course, but make sure that you're also dedicating some time to enjoy yourself. So what I found really worked for me was to set a very strict sort of timetable. So once I finish my lecture, for example, consolidate it as soon as I can and make sure that everything's okay before I go out and spend time with friends, because that reduces the stress of being out and then thinking, oh my gosh, I have so much work to do. And it also make sure that you're kind of on top of things when it comes to the end of the year as well. So I think try and stick with this sort of work hard, play hard mentality. Be strict with yourself and prioritize your health as well. um, a lot of people get very ill during the first month of uni, so try and like establish some limits about going out, and make sure to eat healthily where you can, and yeah, don't overthink it too much.
No, yeah, I think that's a really nice answer. I was just gonna say the same. I think
Mm,
tips for enjoying uni. I'm obviously I haven't gone through like uni completely, but I'd say enjoying uni. I think like you mentioned, striking balance between working and playing. I think that's when you really get to have fun in uni.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, awesome. So that's all the questions that we have for this video. Thanks for joining us, Kat, and
Thanks for having me.
thank you for sending in the questions. And stay tuned for the next videos that we have in this series.